Hello, welcome back to the library. So, a while back, I asked you guys if you'd like to know more about my life in the industry and personal life at what would have been like a 45-minute documentary, and there was a resounding yes. But just as I started to work on it, the finding the Doom demo and the Scooby Doo prototype kind of happened, and that all got put to the side. I realized instead of trying to do it in one long piece, I'd rather just talk about them individually. That way I can go out of order and I can get a bit more granular with individual stories. And today is one of those stories. So today we're going to discuss how I became Pokedude at Interact Accessories. So one day I was working on something, and my boss Ben, who to this day is still an amazing guy, comes over and says, "Jason, we need you in a meeting. Come on over. It's important." So, okay, what's going on? So we get in, we sit down. It's me, Ben, marketing dude whose name I can't remember, and someone I didn't recognize. And they're like, "Yeah, here's the situation. We have a new product coming out, and that product is going to be the Shark MX." And I was like, "Oh, really? Like, what's it do?" "Oh, well, it's got this and that and that. But what's really cool is, especially for the kids, we're going to have a feature called Pokedude. And that's a person who's going to answer Pokemon questions and help kids get through the games." And I was like, "Wow, that's fantastic. What am I here for?" And Ben turns to me and goes, "You're Pokedude." So for context, at this time, I had never played Pokemon, looked at Pokemon, barely knew what it was. All I knew was something with animals and collecting, and I think it was a card game at the time. Obviously, I know it is now. So I basically got my own personal Shark MX, and what the Shark MX is, and I'm not making any of this up, it is too stupid to make up, is it is this little device right here. And it is a modem for the Game Boy systems. There's a little phone line port here, and by phone line, I mean ring ring, hello, who's calling, landline to plug in. And you would take it, and you would plug it into your Game Boy system, and then you would plug in the phone line, and once everything was set up, you would use the Game Boy as what has essentially been a personal device assistant, or PDA, as well as an email server. There would also have been a calculator on here that looked like a fake Texas Instruments one. There would have been the calendar, which you could actually leave yourself notes. Again, using the D-pad to type it all out. It had time zone, and it had the emails, etc. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "All right, let me get set up." So I finished everything I had to do that day, and I grabbed Pokemon, I think it was Blue to start off with, and I threw it in, and I kid you not, I got as far as having to choose my Pokemon. Something came up, and I had to put it aside and take care of whatever came up. So I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever, let's get this." Now, if you've never had a Shark MX, my first day, the day one, the launch of the Shark MX, I pull out the Shark MX from my box, and it would have had this guy, a card in the back, which we'll get to in a second, and then the phone cord. Now, it may be kind of hard to tell in the video, but this is a very, very short cord. It's so short, and we couldn't find a longer one for me, in an office of 30 plus people. So the launch of the Shark MX, I had to sit Indian style on the floor, partially underneath my coworker's desk, literally typing out emails to people. And this is all while he was still working on his own stuff. So if you walked by and just saw him typing, you'd be like, his fingers aren't moving. What's making that noise? Because I was under the frickin' desk. So the launch day came, and I sent out like an email with a code and so forth. And I was like, "All right, cool. Like, let's see how this goes." Like, fuck, I know, it's all good. So 2 days pass, and I log back in, and I actually got 4 or 5 messages from people and from kids, and they were like, "Hey, like, could we have some Pokemon codes?" Because obviously they knew it was Game Shark. And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I waited for my coworker to go to lunch, and then once again, sitting on the floor, typing out, "Hey, H, E, Y, you. And this went on, typing out the entire goddamn email. So I ended up replying back to the few kids that thing. I sent them 1 or 2 codes. A couple days passed. I didn't really get anything in return. So I was like, you know what? I'll take the reins. We're going to become Pokedude. Mind you, I still hadn't played the games or even opened the guidebook, but hey, whatever. So I end up sitting there after hours, and I think it took me an hour to type out this email that had 10 codes. It was like Infinite Health, unlimited Pokemon balls, whatever. And I was like, cool, I'm the man, I'm the Pokedude, we got this, it's going to be fantastic. The next day, I got, I'd say about 3 or 4 emails that all asked the same question. Hey, could we please have some Game Shark codes for Pokemon? Which means the people using the Shark MX to view the Shark MX email I sent out didn't see the Shark MX email, or at least didn't know how to use it to see it. So I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. So a week or 2 goes by, try again, and the number of people replying, asking the same question, they just want codes. It didn't matter how many emails I sent out. Apparently no one saw them. So it was like, oh, okay, I guess this is weird. And about a month and a half later, I think they finally pulled the plug and let them be clearanced out with whatever. So that was my time as Pokedude. But I figured I'd have a little show and tell to show you guys the full extent of everything. So the video should have been playing of me showing off the options. So besides the phone cord and the Shark MX in the box, you would have also gotten a phone card, which seems to have disappeared on me because this is like the 18th take I've done. There it is. You would have gotten this redemption card. And the redemption card was basically like your World of Warcraft or your PlayStation Plus. You got 30 minutes of free time on the Shark MX servers. And if you realized how long it took me to type out a message, you realized 30 minutes was about 1 email that you'd have enough time for. And from a collection standpoint, I don't remember if you could call to top off your minutes or if we actually sold redemption cards. I can tell you right now, they'd be beyond worthless. But if we actually had in-store redemption cards, they'd probably be one of the rarest things ever, because redemption cards like this in Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus and Apple iTunes, those codes go bad after a few months, and you're instructed to literally take all the redemption cards and chuck them in the garbage so a fresh set can be sent in with a fresh set of codes. So literally, what little, if any, we had sent out would have been tossed by the retailers. So yeah, take that for what you will. Now, besides being a completely useless product, the Shark MX did have one shining point, and I don't mean me. It was the actual press kit. You guys know how much I love graphic design, besides just doing it and talking about all the different cool things with the games behind me. But if nothing else, the Shark MX had the cutest press kit I'd ever seen, and I was able to snag one of them to show you guys 20 years later. This actually was my editor-in-chief Ben's personal version of it. So we sent out actual metal lunchboxes to sites like IGN, GameStop, etc., or GameSpot, etc. And when you first open this up, inside, and I'm going to cover up even though it's useless, you would have seen an actual napkin with a message from your mom printed to you telling how much, how cool the product was, she loved you, etc. And then this sheet of paper would explain how to get going with the Shark MX, so you wouldn't have to open the instruction manual in the box. Besides that, you would have gotten the press release telling you all about the really cool things that it can do. Like I said, the PDA, the calendar, the emails. My favorite thing about this in the marketing is that one of the blurbs is like, yeah, kids can email each other for homework, assignments and so forth, and yada, yada, yada. And every single person that saw that just looked at our marketing team was like, or they could use a phone. and do it in 5 minutes and not a half hour. And then once you took that press release out, you actually got the retail Shark MX, so this big box right here, and then you would have gotten the actual Game Boy Color. This is the actual Game Boy Color from the press kit. We had someone at Interact basically gave them the corporate credit card, and they ran to a store and they bought a whole bunch of retail Game Boy Colors to rip out of the boxes and throw in the press kits. And then my personal favorite touch out of the whole thing was, along with that, they also stopped by the grocery store and picked up boxes of fruit snack sharks. Get it? Game Shark? That were placed in the kid's lunchbox to complete the picture. And I'm not kidding. These are the actual 20-year-old gummies that came with the press kit. And before you're like, oh, that's kind of gross, note that in pressing, I can still squish these, which is kind of scary because these should probably have been petrified by now. People eat these things. I'm sure somewhere a 21-year-old gummy is still in someone's stomach from when they ate it. And yeah, and that was sent out, and I think it lasted for about 2 months, and then it died. And my time as Pokedude died with it, because to this day, I have yet to play another Pokemon game of any type or have gotten past the Select Your Pokemon. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the little story. There's going to be a lot more like these coming through in time. And if you have any questions or would love to know more about the Shark MX, let me know. Take care, guys. Get vaccinated. Get fully vaccinated. The Delta variant is not a variant you want to collect for. Take care, you guys. Have a great one.